Hi YouTube! So, what an interesting story that pricks the ears, if you will, of any atheist, I suppose, listening out there. Alright, let's get to it. Ratzinger, the rat. Nah, that's not nice. Okay. Ratzinger, then, resigns. The first pope in over 600 years to resign as the head of the political organization, otherwise known as the Roman Catholic Church. Interesting. Interesting. Now, I know he's old and frail, and that's the excuse he's using. I don't know if you're Latin. I don't know, because he broadcast this in Latin. I don't know how your Latin is, but it's interesting the vocabulary he used. Now, bear with me. He says, "I in all good conscience." Excuse me, what? "I in all good conscience." You know, because I have to do, he has to, well, he goes on to qualify that then, of course, the rest of it's boring. But it's just in that speech he gave in Latin, I'm thinking, in all good conscience, I have to resign. By the way, because I'm just too frail and it's dishonest of me to continue on. I mean, if you think that John Paul II was like a vegetable and he kept going, it's kind of unprecedented. Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think? That you see, everybody, Mr. Joseph Ratzinger wasn't just parachuted in to the Vatican when he became Pope. Freudian slip there. He was there for I think over 30 years, yeah? As a professor and this council and that, as a cardinal, as everything. So he was in the thick of Vatican business and politics for a very long time. Why is that important in my analysis? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because when all the abuse scandals started coming up, good old Joe, we'll call him Uncle Joe, will we? Taking the piss of Stalin or something. Sorry, just a little break. Yeah, so as I say, he wasn't parachuted in. He's been there. He's part of the furniture for a very, very long time. And he knew of all those revelations and things that were going on. Head of the Inquisition at one point. Here's the deal. You know what I think, everyone? He's resigning because as a scholar, I think that secretly, like Mother Teresa, really, that probably he's a bit of an atheist. Or, if he's not an atheist, I think that it's just that carrying all the burdens when all the big scandals broke in the United States and Ireland and Belgium and just all over the world, but anyway, yeah? Just a huge amount of, I can't say blood on your hands type thing, but blood is certainly, or you know, something that you have to digest, that he knew in his heart and soul about the chess game that was going on in hierarchy of people, bishops and everyone else covering up this and hiding that. So remember what I said at the beginning. He says, in all good consciousness or conscience, that's the word. Yeah, I think it's something got to do. I think it's something got to do with that it finally, I think, got to the chap. Yeah, I really think so. He can't live with himself because he knows he presided over all that bullshit, or he knew far more than he should have and did nothing or very little about it until it was too late. And I suppose also, if you think about it, this is probably a bigger, I'm not into kind of conspiracy theories, everyone, certainly not, just an analysis. Seminaries are nearly closed in the first world. In Africa, South America, there are still people who are training to be priests. It's a blight, like the fucking potato blight one time in my country. In the rest of in the world, nobody's joining the priesthood. Mass attendance has plummeted. They're hemorrhaging those tax dollars. Mass attendees on the plate. They're hemorrhaging money and through compensations and litigations. And it's going to be a train wreck. And here's what they're going to do, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. I mark my words. With all respect to our dear African American and African brothers, there's never been a black president. And what they're going to do is that we're going to see our first black president. I keep saying president. It's a Freudian slip. Pope. Well, he's the president of a corporation. That's why I keep saying it. We're going to see our first black pope. And you know why? Not because it's racist, but if they could, they'd nearly put a woman as pope. You know why? To preside over the sinking of the Titanic. Oftentimes we've seen it in companies. Remember the glass ceiling that they talked about in corporations? It's like, if a company looks like it's going to crash, put a woman in charge. So when the inevitable happens, let a woman take the rap. It's less embarrassing. Certainly for the white elite that have always dominated the papacy. Yeah, I don't have a crystal ball, but I have a feeling there's going to be a black pope. And why? Let him preside over the complete fucking, in the next few generations, just non-meaning entity of the Catholic Church. And it's like the fall of Rome itself, going back to 450 AD. What you'll have is, instead of the Huns taking over Rome, you'll just like, all the Vatican will have is tourists coming to this big museum called the Vatican, and they'll charge at the door, or monies might come in, but that's all it's going to be. And for me, it's a great day for that reason. This Ratzinger guy, yeah, because for me, he's an accomplice. I can't make it, you know, I'm wanting to suffer litigation here. For me, he's an accomplice after a crime, and I think it's just that those words resound in my ear. I, in all good conscience, can't maintain this role because I'm sick and I'm old and blah, blah, blah. No, Ratzinger, because you did the right thing, buddy. Resign. And hopefully, why don't you come up and say, well, you really resigned. Maybe you will on your deathbed or something like that. Anyway, who gives a shit? But I think honesty is a good thing. What do you think? Let me know. Bye-bye, everyone.